That was a TKO though. That wasn't even a
Yeah.
knockout by Aron. So I don't know.
Arn
if we're
literally
gonna
didn't
count
say
that.
anything. Like he.
What
That
do you
was
do in a
one of
boxing
the
match
most-
when they ring the bell and one of the guys falls over, passes out?
Yeah, basically.
That was one of the single most amazing things I've ever seen, and I have sat there and translated Mr. Intelligent Design. Like, I've read his book.
He did.
This is-
He tried
was
to.
more intelligible.
This is funny.
That
Now,
guy-
this is funny, Aaron. You'll appreciate this. Mr. Intelligent Design is coming on here to have a discussion soon. And the only way he would do that is if we let Chris be the interpreter for him. Now, Chris is an atheist. Remember that. But he trusts Chris enough to go and so Chris will be the person that Mr. ID will be telling his arguments to, and then Chris will be kind of conveying what he actually means by that. So, how did you get into that predicament, Chris? Like,
Well, first was my friend Brian was like, "Hey, join this call." I was like, "Okay." And then got in the middle of it, and Steve and I we talked a little bit about pre-Socratics, and then Steve went on a walk and was like, "Here, have this fucking hand grenade of Mr. ID. You guys can fucking deal with that." And then Ocean was sitting there commentating on
he latched onto you, basically.
Carrie's inability to understand anything. Meanwhile, I'm sitting there wondering if I'm really actually this stupid because I'm understanding what this guy is saying.
Yes.
You were steel manning him. You were trying to steel man Mr. Intelligent Design's argument the best. Well, and I hate to use the word argument because it's really not. But you were trying to give him the most principle of charity interpretation humanly possible, and I find that to be admirable, albeit maybe misguided. But you at least attempted to, which is far more than any of us will have the empowerment to ever do.
Well, I'll tell you what. While we've got you here, Aaron, where have you? You've recently traveled and done some speaking engagements, and
you can say that almost any time.
Yeah, that's true.
A month ago today, I was in Manchester for QED, and then I celebrated my birthday in Reykjavik. And last weekend, or a couple days ago, I was in Austin. I was on the Atheist Experience.
Yes, busy man.
A little bit, and I'm happy to be.
Mm-hmm.
And you might want to mention your video that you just put out with your ongoing saga with Mr.
I was going to say that. Yes.
I was way ahead of you.
Walk us through that.
I'm actually kind of excited about this. I mean, just people have told me that Kent Hovind is beneath me and not worth my time, and literally they might be true. Those statements, but let me have my fun. I've been wanting a scrap with that con man for more than 20 years. And he is the example to me of the worst of creationism, of everything that's wrong with creationism, and other creationists agree with that. So that's why I'm having so much fun with him. I hate liars, and I hate people who manipulate other people and deceive other people. And this guy's running a cult where he has the only facility that has running water and electricity, and from what I hear, he has people doing all his work for him who sleep on cots in a barn or some such thing, and they worship this guy. And I don't know how the hell can you listen to this man for 4.5 seconds and not realize he's an idiot. And I used to think that it was just because he was a. Yeah. I know that religious people respond to confidence more than accuracy, and actual scholars only care about accuracy, so they're very hesitant to say anything to make sure that they want to be able to verify or to defend anything that they say. I get that, but with Hovind and people of his ilk, I mean, as long as you're completely narcissistic, you have an overbloated sense of your own importance, and you convince everybody else that you're the absolute master of whatever, then a lot of these people will somehow look up to you and admire you, especially if you say the occasional ridiculous joke that maybe only appeals to some people that are already looking for somebody better than themselves, who don't have a great deal of self-esteem. And I feel really bad for those people. But I have heard from one or two people in the last year or so that have told me that they used to, and probably more than that, but it told me that they used to buy into Kent Hovind. They were even going to go to Hovind's encampment, but that they started seeing my videos and they started realizing how full of shit he is. And so I'm achieving a goal because, and I have people telling me that members of their own family, or that people that they know are still connected to him, or still, you're paying him, giving him tithe, or actually donating their time and going to his compound to be little cult members of his. And so I feel like I am completely justified in taking him on, and I'm enjoying doing it. Mm-hmm. And the beautiful thing is that there's not a damn thing he can do to me because he does not have any meat to him at all. All he's done is take advantage of professional scientists who always believe that they're dealing with people of accountability, people who are going to be honest and people who are going to respect the data. But Hovind doesn't. The thing that clued me to that was when I watched the debate with him, and I wish I could pull it up. I was searching around on the web to try to find it, but I remember this one debate that he had where somebody had predicted what he was going to say, what he was going to demand evidence of. And so they had a stack of printed out, peer-reviewed articles concerning exactly that, evidence of the very thing that Hovind asked for. And Hovind turned his head to look away from it and literally waved his hand, waving hand dismissal. He goes, "That's not evidence. That's just a bunch of paper."
that impression is
tells you
killer.
How dishonest he is. He does not care what the truth is. And why would he? I mean, I've seen video of Hovind admitting that he's never had to have a real job. And that's why he does what he does, so that he won't ever have to have a real job. And that's my biggest problem with people like him.
I 1,000% believe that, actually. I'm convinced of that beyond all doubt.
The one thing he can do to you, Aron, though, is filibuster you. Like he's weighing you down with what you said, 5 hours of video.
Yeah, but all of it is irrelevant. I mean, if all he can do is make jokes about my personal appearance or make insinuations about, I don't know, a lot of these religious people, a lot of his followers especially, they want to attack my, I don't know, sexual orientation or something, as if that would matter, right? I mean, I don't
get it. You're a beautiful man compared to Kent Hovind. I don't know what the hell he's bitching about.
No. I was a beautiful man. In my 20s, I was a much better man than Hovind ever was. And I'm okay with looking like the grizzled monstrosity that I am now. Because
you me both, brother.
I don't have here's a funny thing. I'm just a sidetrack. I remember meeting old men when I was a teenager who had gone to work in the mine when they were teenagers, and now they've retired, and the only job they've ever had was in that fucking mine. And so you've lived in the same town, and you've worked in that one job, only that one job, and you've slept with all of 3 women in your life. That's sad. I don't have that. I don't tell those stories anymore.
You shouldn't either, Steve.
Still. I probably shouldn't, right?
Well, okay, yeah, but the thing is I don't have to follow Kent's women.
Oh, hang on, what's that, Chris? Wait, Chris was saying something.
How many times have you made tweets and chatted with me about all the hot women you're around?
No. It used to be around. Now it's infrequent. There's only 1 or 2 hot women I know, and they're all lesbians, so it doesn't really do me.
Okay, so he's talking to Steve.
That sucks.
Yeah, he's talking to me.
Yeah.
I've dated some very beautiful women in my day. I can't complain.
Yeah, and neither can I. I've had a wonderfully misspent youth. I mean, I wish that I could be like Motorhead had an album called No Remorse, and I wish I could say that I have no remorse, because I've done things that I'm disgusted at my own behavior. That's why I always say that if I can meet myself when I was, in my early 20s, I would whoop that boy's ass. What the hell are you thinking? But I guess everybody feels that way about who they were when you were young.
Definitely.
Yeah, it must be spending my youth in a really strange.
Oh, hold on, Chris.
Well, he does 5 hours of video where he doesn't give me any substance. He doesn't talk about the actual science, ever. He just makes these insinuations. I mean, I did not want to attack his character at all. But when he repeated 6 times that he'd never been convicted of fraud, oh, no. I'm doing everything I can to ignore that. But then when you accuse me of lying, we're done. We're
Yep.
He accused me of, oh, no,
True,
we're bringing it now. So I'm sorry. So I'm really having fun with this. I intend to go through if he uploads all the rest of his videos, I will watch all the rest of his videos. I will skip over all his petty little prissy kind of bitter butthurt comments and only get to the science and show that he does not have any idea.
How do you have time for that?
I'm not trying to convince him. I'm obviously showing his followers. I mean, he had something like 7,800 views on the first video that he uploaded challenging me. And my first round video got 53,000 views in that same amount of time. But my response to him today, 15,000 as of an hour ago. And I uploaded it this morning. So he's not going to be able to ignore me. His followers will see this. His followers will see that he is a liar and a crook. And that's all that really matters.
And it's kind of a catch-22 because a couple of years ago, when Ken only had like 50-some-odd thousand, I think he's like, 70,000 something now. He's put on like 20,000 subs since we introduced him back to the community. He was kind of, had relegated to the realm of obscurity. We had brought him on.
So
with,
you
King
guys
Crocodile.
brought him back.
Yeah. Well, hang on. It's a double-edged sword because what I found this to be the case. Even though he has gotten a lot of attention because of the debates he's had both on my channel on the NonSequitur show and many other things he's been doing, the vast majority that sub to him, I find, don't agree with him. They're pretty much hate subs. I think we're actually having a more beneficial impact because now more people are probably realizing he's a con artist, he's a fraud, he doesn't give a shit about the actual topics. He's doing this as you said.
Need to know.
But
this is what people need to know. Alabama school children. Public schools in Alabama are busing their students to his compound, not just to be lied to and deceived, which is already criminal enough, but also he's got people coming onto his compound to donate their time, not just their money, which is bad enough, but to donate their time doing his labor for him.
That's crazy.
So that lazy lying ass does not have to. Right. So he needs to be shut down. The best he should have been able to hope for when he came out of prison was to be bagging groceries at Winco. That should have been the loftiest aspiration he could have, would be to have a boss for the first time in his life.
Can you just say, Aron, paper or plastic real quick in Kent's voice?
Oh, paper or
plastic.
I
go to Winco and they have great cashiers at Winco. I actually love Winco.
You're right. I should have said Walmart.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, I like Winco. They're great.
Winco is employee owned. I should have said Walmart because they're the shit stain of all grocery stores.
There you go.
It's funny that you guys are having like this formal back and forth now after following like your first run in, like because your first run in seems like what happens after the formal aspect goes along for long enough, and then you get to the point where you just can't go on anymore, and all hell breaks loose. But this, I was telling Aron before we came on that I was actually surprised that Kent agreed to do this, or kind of went along with this, because this gives an opportunity for him to, if you put those videos side by side, it's evidence heavy on one side, and it's a lot of talking and rhetoric on the other. And I think if people on his side especially watch that, then it in no way does it have a good light for him in any way, shape, or form. I mean, it's totally. You kill it.
He challenged me.
So why he agreed to do this is crazy.
I don't get it. He must be desperate for the publicity, but I'm not giving him the publicity he wants. I mean, in each of these rounds, we've asked each other questions. I haven't seen whether he's answered any of my questions because I don't know. Maybe that'll be on version 8, episode 8 or 9 that he hasn't uploaded yet. I haven't seen anything but the one video that I responded to. If he uploads the rest, I will address the science, the relevant data on each of these as necessary. But I forgot. I just sidetracked myself. Now I can't remember what the fuck I was just saying.
We were talking about the how it's evidence heavy on your side and why he agreed to
Oh yes,
do
and
this
we
in the
ask
first place.
each other questions. So I challenge him again to go watch the video of the phylogeny challenge so that you have a clue